Hey everyone, good afternoon. Shelly Costello here today. If you've been watching here on my page, you know that we're going live today at 2:30. So we're here. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Come on in. So again, my name's Shelly Costello. If you're on my page, you must know who I am here. I'm President and CEO of Creative Web Concepts. So I operate a full digital marketing, social media management, creator content business. And I basically create content, manage social media platforms and marketing, digital marketing for all of my clients around the country. I'm based out of Orlando, Florida. So I'm glad you're here today. We're going to talk about, so I do a lot of things. Again, I do social media management, content creation, brand management. I create content around my clients for their needed content. So today I've had a lot of people come to me with questions, and I've been like doing them one-on-one. So I just kind of want to reach out to you today in this little video and share with you some details, and then open this discussion up for Q&A, and then also open it up for you to have the freedom to contact me so that we can further, discuss your needs, answer your questions, because this can be a really confusing topic. Okay, so today we're going to talk about brand influencer deals, brand sponsorships, and influencer marketing, paid influencer marketing. So let's start out with what is brand influencers and paid brand sponsorship marketing. That is where a company or a brand will reach out to an influencer, and that would be somebody like you or me, and make an offer or an intention to get you to promote their business or products or their company to your audiences across social media in return for hopefully cash dollars or payment, rather than services and products to use for free. So let me address that right there. We're going to take this like step by step. There are many brands who will reach out to people and say, hey, we'll be glad to give you our skincare for free. Use it, get on the internet and tell everybody about it, and we'll give you a couple months use of it for your content and for your influence and for you telling your audience about it. So here you are. Oh, this is great, wonderful. Y'all should go buy it because your audience loves you and they're going to do what you tell them. And the brand is making money and you're just getting like products or services. So some people do that. A lot of people do that. I see so many people doing that basically because they don't know they can get more or know better, or they just want to do it for free. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about brand deals, brand sponsorships, and paid brand influencers. So I'm talking about where brands reach out to you and want to pay you. They're going to, of course, send you the product to use, but they're going to pay you money to use your audience and your influence over those people in your audience to promote their company, brand, products, and services. That requires more than ship me a box and let Amazon deliver it, let me do an unboxing here or something like that. This is not that. So let's move to what this really is. So, and then we're going to talk about how do you get brands, how do you get paid, what do they want, what kind of content. We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to try to make it really condensed for you. So what you want is not just to be cheap and free. You don't want to use your audience and your influence over those people to give away your influence to, hey, do this and do it free without getting money. Because listen, a brand is making money on that. If they can get 1,000 people to get out there and talk about how wonderful their skincare is, they're making money in sales. So how I know people I see online that are doing that and not getting paid, one, they'll talk about it and say, yeah, I'm working with XYZ skincare company. They've sent me this great package here. I've got this and that. I'm trying this really is good. I've got a coupon code below. Sometimes just a coupon code gives them a commission. And that's not what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about brand influencing, straight up sponsorship gigs and deals, a brand deal, where a brand will say, I will pay you X amount of dollars, $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for content around this product. Here is skincare. I want you to use it. I want you to talk about it on your audience. We want 3 reels, 2 stories on Instagram, 5 photos of you. This is the content we want, and it's laid out and specified. We want it posted one a day, every day, or once a week for 30 days, or on 10 YouTube videos, or 15 Instagram reels, or 10 reels, or it's specified how often and the visibility frequency of that piece of media, what it is. Is it a square picture? Is it a reel? Is it a story? Is it a clip in a YouTube video? What kind of content, the size of content, the type of content, restrictions on the content, what they want for the content, and they're going to pay you in a contractual agreement to use you because that influence makes them money and they're paying you for the content creation, usage, and putting it out there. That is a true brand deal. Do not get confused with being cheap and free unless you just want to use products and use your audience and your influence. Your influence is worth money. Let me give you an idea. Let me just give you an example. We're going to go through each one of these things. So I love sunglasses. I went on my Instagram all the time, putting up different shades, me wearing them, blah, blah, blah. And I never tagged a brand. Don't ever tag a brand trying to get brand deals. I'm going to go over with you how to get brand deals. I'm going to go through my whole consulting thing I do for my brand clients. And we're going to do that quickly. But quickly, I would put sunglasses and I would hashtag eyewear, fashion sunglasses. And a brand reached out to me. One wanted to give me just glasses. I said, oh, thanks, I'll take them, but I'm not going to I might do a picture with them, but I'm not going to do a verbal, any type of content. Then I had a company reach out and say, we want to pay you. I was like, okay, well, here's my guide. Here's what I like to my contract, but I'm open to yours. Let's negotiate. And so you want stories, reels. I had everything I wanted. How long? You can't use my content more than 90 days. After 90 days, this content stops. And you have to be careful because if they keep, you can't say, you can have it forever now. You got to be very careful with your contracts. You don't really need a brand manager to pay thousands of dollars and a big portion of your proceeds to. You just need a real inexpensive brand consultant. That's kind of what I do. And just make sure your contract's up and up, make sure you get paid, make sure you don't ever want to say, yeah, you can have my content forever. Use it in perpetuity, which means there's never an end date or expiration of that content, and then you renegotiate the contract. That's the way a real brand deal is done. But mine didn't. It said 90 days, you can use my content. I'm going to create this. What do you want? They said, well, reels, videos, pictures, great. I did all that, got paid. Got to make sure you have, you're getting paid, and I'll show you how to do that. So all that to say, that's a real brand deal. That's what you're looking for. If you're new starting out, you want to be paid for what you're telling your audience. They trust you, they love you, they believe you, and you want to get paid for using your audiences, your influence to your audience. Okay, so how do you get into this business? It's very lucrative. Millions and billions of dollars every single are paid out to brand influencers, small and big alike. 10 million followers in your audience, 2,000, 1,000. Micro influencers. Brands are looking for people who are real, authentic, have an audience that believes and trusts them, that engages with them. Who wants 10 million followers that are not even warm and engageable in your social media content? So brands are looking for specific personalities, specific looks. You don't have to be, there's a lot of people that don't look great. You don't have to be, oh, I got to be gorgeous to get brand deals and be on camera. No, you don't. You just have to be real. They want authentic people that people will fall in love with, that are warm, and that can really, and not just sell, but that can put a video together or put together content that would help promote their brand. Okay, that's what it is. That's kind of what you want to work for if you're moving into this space as an income. Okay, how do you get a hold of brands? Don't ever get out there and start the mistake of, I'm going to put out a video and I'm going to tag a brand. Don't ever do that. Okay, another little short story. This is a true story, me. So my front 4 teeth were 1, 2, 3, 4 overlapped like into one big tooth. And so I went to my dentist and he did Invisalign. And after my Invisalign, he was so shocked by the results. He asked me to do videos and kind of market the dentistry practice, so we did that. And I was on Instagram, and I only hashtag smile, new smile, Invisalign. And Invisalign reached out to me. I would have never tag Invisalign, because that's not how you get a brand deal. Don't tag them unless you know the relationship, and we can go over that later. But they reached out to me, okay, and they loved your story, love using your content, we love to use your video. So if a brand ever does that, so you can reach brands you love and love using their products, or that you've had great results with, by just hashtagging, like my eyeglass company that I did the deal with. I just hashtag eyewear, fashion eyewear, whatever, and they're watching people. Another great hashtag is influencer. And they're watching people they might want to. I'm nobody special. I'm not like gorgeous out there on videos like to create. I just can create content. I'm not shy, but I'm careful what I create and who I create. So I'm careful the companies I choose, put it that way. Okay, so you can hashtag however you get out there. Brands will find you. They're looking. Brands are out there every day searching social media, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, looking for people. That could be micro influencers, regular influencers to pay money to. They're not all going to just say, let me just give you a product and you just use it and try it and do it for free and be free and cheap. Some brands will try to do that, but most of them will pay if they got the right people. So we can go over how to attract brands. That's the second thing. You have to first know what it is, how surround it, the definition, and then how to attract them. The next thing you need to know is details. Can you create the content they want? Make sure it's paid content. Make sure you have a contract. You do not need a manager to take all your money and a percentage of your deals. You just need a consultant. See, I'm a brand consultant. I'm trying to draw the line between the difference here. I look at contracts, make sure that just the few points that need to be in the influencer's contract is there, so that my influencer can do their own negotiation and deals. So just make sure that number one, they can perform that duty. They can do, if they want 5 reels, 2 pictures, 3 videos, that they can actually pull off that content. They got a video camera. They can do what that brand wants. And make sure they know the brand might have restrictions. You can't have this in the background. You can't do that. You can't do this. Make sure you read the details carefully of what the brand expects and wants before you sign a brand deal, because you can get really mixed up if you don't. Make sure, and this is where I go over contracts and help guide people through this process, that it says, specifically, 90 days, this expires. You only get 5 of these. You can only show these so many times. The brand can use your content, and they can share as much as they want. It's not in perpetuity. It's not forever. You don't get to use my content over and over the next 20 years, because they're making $1 million and you're only getting paid, what, $500,000, $2,000, whatever that agreed contract is. The time specified, the impressions, the amount of visibility that piece of content goes out must have a start and end date, and it must be paid for. And so there's some buzzwords you need to know to make sure your contract is up and up. And make sure your contract has all the payment information. Sometimes brands make an upfront payment. Sometimes they do net 30, net 60, net 90, pay later. However that is worked out for you to get paid, it's important to get paid. I have to spend a lot of time making sure my brand clients that are doing brand influence deals are getting paid. It's not just to get a deal, get some free product, and get a gig and go home and hope you get your money. It's we make sure our brands are getting paid. I have brands and influencers that do this for a living. So it's really important to, if you're starting out, number one, to have just a consultant on your side, somebody you can bounce things off of that doesn't cost a lot. Because if you get a $500 brand deal, hey, what is it to pay $50 for my brand consultant that went over my contract, made sure I could do my content, guided me through my content, $50 a gig or whatever. I could just get a consultant. So make sure you understand clearly the details of a contract. So just make sure that you can fulfill that. Don't ever sign a contract that you're not positive you can fulfill. And so brands will tell you what they want. That's another thing. Make sure you have details in a contract, what each party wants, what each party expects, and what each party can do. The next thing, there's different kinds of brand deals and different kinds of content. So there's brand deals that are one time, one shot, you get paid, you're done. There's brand deals that are like for specified times, 3 months, 6 months, and there's some that are in perpetuity, ongoing, or a contract. We'll use you over the next year. You are our brand consultant. Every month you do this X. We want it on your YouTube when you do a video, or we want a story every other day. So there's different types of influencer contracts and deals to do. Okay, so that's another area to look at to make sure you understand and you know what the brand wants, but to make sure that you have a list of things. When I work with my influencers, we sit down together on our consultation, and we basically put, okay, this is what you can do, and you can present this to them, and you can negotiate upon it when they give you a price. Okay, I can create this, make sure you're within what you can really do, don't overpromise, and I would like to have X amount of dollars if I do this and that, and make sure you have that in there so they know what you're expecting as well. So I go over and we make a little little mini kit that my people can just send to if an influencer says, hey, what do you charge? Or how do you feel about working for us as an influencer? Then they can send them the little brand kit and they can build from there and come back to you and say, okay, we looked at that, we like that, but we'd like to make you an offer. And that's how we move on from there. So that's one way to really do well at it. Then it's really getting paid, making sure that money comes in. And the next thing is making sure that you have the equipment necessary to do the content creation. Make sure that you have a camera, you have the right platforms. Make sure you can really put this together. A lot of my influencers, I will actually go out with them. Sometimes I go film, sometimes I film remotely. I have a remote studio. I guide them through the content, help them create the content, and make sure they understand what they're doing, and make sure that they can fulfill that obligation. If you do not fulfill the contract, you will not get paid. A brand does not have to pay you. If you make mistakes or you don't do it according to the details of that contract, the brand doesn't have to pay you. So we have to make sure that the contracts are solid and that beforehand we've discussed everything. And then my influencers go off and do their thing, and they do really quite well. Influencers are making millions and millions of dollars these days doing micro-influencing and representing brands and their products. But not everybody has to do this free and cheap. Not everybody has to just say, let me get a box of protein bars and get out there and eat them and say they're yummy and get paid and get product. That's not real brand influencing paid sponsorships and partnerships. It's being paid money, having a contract, and getting paid for what you do. Some other areas that you need to make sure you're looking at, okay, how to attract brands. Again, it's doing something normal in your life or something you love to wrap that brand around and use hashtags and get it out there. I never suggest tagging a brand, just trying to get them. I never did that, but I got them to notice me. I shoot a lot of random content and use it in hopes of getting noticed by brands. Like I said, the sunglasses, and again, the Invisalign thing. So you can use a lot of areas in your life that you love. If you love cooking, you can use some of that original content, and you could reach out to maybe cooking or utensils, pots and pans, all kinds of companies and skincare and household and equipment and auto, anything is wide open. So I talk to my people about my influencers, how to create something, what would be a great piece of content to create, just to put out there for a few weeks and see if you can get brand attraction. So, and the next thing is your audience. Make sure that you the best thing you can do is start warming up your audience. Just talk to them. Just put out great, funny stuff or stuff that they'll come back and say, hey, Shelly, that was really great. Right now, start warming your audience and talking to them and start engaging them. So a brand will see that people are talking to you or they're liking your stuff. They like you. Make sure, because when they start to find you and looking for you and they find your hashtags, they're going to want to make sure that you have people that really like you. Because if people like you, and if you're telling somebody, even if, let's forget money, just put money aside. If you go to a great restaurant and you start talking to your friends, oh, I went to this great restaurant, had the best steak in the world. I don't eat steak, but if I did, okay? And your friends, oh yeah, I'm gonna go try that. Word of mouth, you telling your audience, your friends are your audience. These are the people in your space. They trust you. They're going to listen to you. If you give a recommendation on something you bought at a store, they're going to go buy it. This is the power of your audience. That is worth money. So again, about being cheap and free, I wouldn't do that for a steak dinner. I wouldn't say, okay, Mr. Restaurant, I'll tell 100 people about you for one steak dinner. Well, if 100 people went and paid $50 for a steak dinner, do the math, and one steak dinner is $50, I just got $50, and how much did they make? So you see, it's not like just take a steak dinner and go tell them. It's not like take a product and go tell people. It's worth more. Your influence over the people in your life, in your space, and your internet space, people you've never met, but you know that they trust you. They do what you tell them. Those people, you're an influence over their lives. You're an influence. It's amazing. People, have you ever seen people on Facebook? I do this. Yes, I am looking for a new pediatrician for my baby. Our old one moved or whatever have you. People are on social media looking for doctors, for bankers to trust them with their money, for doctors, for their brain surgeons. That's how much people trust the influence of their friends on social media. Do you not see it all the time? People don't even go to Google anymore. I saw someone on Facebook that said, why don't you just go Google this? They would say, what is the best so-and-so in this city in Orlando, whatever. Well, they could go to Google, but they don't want that. They want to hear from the people themselves. They want people to comment. They want personal influence. They want to be influenced by you, your decisions, your personality, and how you think and feel about a product, a restaurant that you've used. That's the power of influence marketing. That's the power of what you get paid to do. Not just to get something free and cheap to go and tell the world about it. You're cutting yourself short. So going over some of these brand things that we do, how to attract your brand audience, what is a brand deal, what it is not, how do you get paid, what do you get paid, the elements of a contract, what it should say, how long, specified times, money, everything needs to be detailed. You don't have to have a brand manager that charges thousands and takes 20% of your earnings. You just need to have a consultant look over things. How are you ever going to do the content? Do you have the means to create the content? Can you get that much content? What do they expect? What are brands expecting? Make sure you know the details. All of this is involved in brand marketing, sponsorships, and influencer deals. I have a young man I'm working with right now to get some teen health or teen hygiene products and eyewear and stuff, and we're working with companies, but we're not going to sell out cheap and free. And we're not going to do it to get some stuff. We're going to do it for money. So anyway, I just want to come to you today because I had somebody reach out to me this week. A couple of people asked me about that. And there's a lot of misconception going on out there about how to do this, how to reach brands. And so if you're looking for a brand consultant, I'm going to put my link down below, my calendar. Feel free to reach out to me. We'll set up a call. Be glad to talk to you on a call. Again, I don't charge all those big fees. I'm just a brand consultant telling you how to get deals, how to get brands to recognize you, how to get them to find you, how to make sure your contract's solid, how to make sure you can create the content and get the content out there, how to make sure you get paid, what is the content criteria, what do they expect from you. And so, yeah, if you want to pursue that as a secondary income, it's very lucrative, millions and millions of dollars. Big brands are spending on micro influencers with 1,000, 2,000 following. You don't need 1 million followers. You don't have to be some big celebrity. But anyway, we can talk more about that. I just wanted to clear up the misconceptions today, answer the questions that people are asking me, talk to you about it, and see if this is something you want to do. Reach out to me. My calendar's down below. We'll set up just a straight brand consultant conversation between us, and I can go through this whole thing with you. And I even have a brand deal starter pack for those starting out, like a little sample contract, do's and don'ts, a whole little list of things, how you get started, because when you get started doing this, you don't have money for a manager. And unless you're a really big influencer out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars, you usually don't pay for a brand manager anyway. So anyway, all that to say, I wanted to come live today and bring this to you. Thanks so much for being here. If you're interested in this, let's talk more about it. And I'll be glad to provide you with all the information you need to start your career earning extra money doing brand partnerships. All right? Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.